All right, guys, I'm going to show you a new gel ball blaster here. This is from a newer brand on Amazon called Gel Snipers. So I like that they went with a good, easy name. And this is their M416. We've seen some M416s like this before. However, this one, I have already tested it, and it is seeming to work fine. So it's got a magazine that's not powered, and but it has worked, at least in my initial tests. And there's a couple things I want to touch on with that. So what I'm going to show you is the importance. Obviously, I always talk about making sure your gel balls are the right size. That's always important. But there's a way to prime this magazine. And if you get it primed properly so that the gel balls are right at the top, feeding right away, then it seems to be able to continue that flow of gel balls. So I will make sure to point that out as we put this together after we look through everything. So you've got a nice scope, right, for the top mount rail. They give you a little container speed with a speed loader to load those gel balls in, but then you also got a lid in case you want to store extra gel balls in here. They give you a rail mount flashlight, a rail mount front grip. You've got your USB charger, of course, and your battery right here. So a 7.4 volt battery, and it is a 2-pin JST connector. So that's kind of what we're used to with a lot of them. Give you one pack of gel beads, and then a couple rail mount sights and a little strap too. All right, so lots of accessories, so that's cool. I know a lot of you guys like that. Now, here's your stock and your buffer tube. So we'll take the buffer tube out because in a minute we're going to install it. And then here is your magazine. All right, so we got your magazine here, and we'll go over that in a minute too. The actual blaster itself, and this does come off, but there's not really any reason to do so. So just, unless you're traveling, you want to break it down. Magazine release button right here, like we've seen on a lot of these, right? Charging handle here, so if you do put it into single shot, you can use that and shoot it just off the spring manually. And then that also kind of works as a safety, unless you pull it back, right? And then your wire harness off the back that's going to go through the buffer tube. So let's put that on. So just kind of feed the wire through, of course. Put it on here, turn it down so that it's locked in place. Now we can put the battery in. We got that battery all charged up. What I always recommend is battery down first, and then plug it in and find a spot for the harness if you can. If you can do it this way, I think it's always better because that way you're not going to worry about ripping the harness out if it gets snagged on something, because that's actually kind of the end you're pulling it on. All right, so we got that in there. I'm going to push down this button on the stock, line it up, and then push it in. You may need to give it a good push here. There we go. All right, so just give it a good push. All right, we're in all the way. And then if you want to adjust it out, it will lock into place as you pull it out, right? So it's locked into place there. All right, so we've got that set up. Let's give it a test. It's on safety or single shot. We'll turn it over to automatic. All right, it's working good. So we got that set up. Let's start looking at these accessories. For your scope, this one has a little button you push. And push that button, slide it into place. All right, slide it into place. We'll put it right there. It kind of snaps into place. If you wanted to put your sights on too, these just push on. And so just go ahead, push them on, adjust where you'd want to put them. Front grip. This one actually has a screw in it, so you can just adjust that to widen it a little bit to get it on the rail. And then we can tighten it down. So depending where you want to put this, then that can dictate where you put the flashlight. So if you've got room and you want to put the flashlight here, you can do so. And then that just screws down as well. Or you could use one of these side rails or the top rail. I mean, it really is just for cosmetic purposes. So whatever you like best, you can do. So we got that all set up. So let's talk about the gel beads. So gel beads, it's very important to soak them for, I always say 4 to 6 hours. Use plenty of water in a large enough container. They're not going to grow too big. Drain the water out. I store them in these containers. They've got lids. When they're fully grown, you can go ahead and leave them for usually up to a couple weeks if they're in airtight containers. Never store gel balls in the magazine, okay? Just don't do it. Take the magazine out, make sure it's empty, and then, let it dry out. That's the best practice. So with this one, I have loaded some gel balls in there, but I'll fill it up. And I usually just use my hand because I can do a decent job with this one. But you do have the speed loader right here in case you want to use that, because that does make it easier for some. So we got that in there. But what's really important to do now is to push this button. You're just going to sit here and click it. Click it until you see a gel ball. Oh, right? So we got a gel ball. They're popping out. That means you've got it primed and ready to go. Just go ahead, put your magazine in. We can go shoot. All right, so that's how you're going to set it up. Of course, your magazine release button's right here. Just push that, slides down. But we've got it ready to go shoot. So I'm excited to shoot it for you. I'm excited that these gel ball blaster companies seem to have figured out how to make these bottom loading magazines that are non-motorized function. So that's great to see. So again, it's from Gel Snipers on Amazon. They have several other designs too. So make sure you guys are writing any comments that you got, any questions down below. You're liking these videos, you're subscribed, and of course, participate in all the giveaways that I do.